Welcome to NTS Training. In this video, we're going to take a look at the educational features of NTS online training. So basically, we're going to look at all the different ways that we present information to either make it more enticing or more digestible to the learner. The first thing we'll actually talk about is we'll go back to our My Home course and we'll go to one of our new courses, our Residential Networking Basics. This course is actually going to be using audio narration. We don't do this in all of our courses, but we're starting to add it more and more. So that way, instead of just reading the information, you can actually have it narrated to you. This is useful if you have difficulty reading large amounts of information in one sitting, or if it just helps to have that information spoken to you. So this course actually does have the narration built into it, and we're going to go into it and actually just listen to a few slides. So once I launch this course, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit there and go through a few slides and let you hear how this audio narration works.
Evolution of residential networking. Wireless networking has been a part of the security industry for many years. In the beginning, it was provided by specific manufacturers for their systems. Referred to as proprietary products, these products were usually not interchangeable with other manufacturers. In the 1980s, the concept of Wi-Fi communications was developed and was implemented by the government in 1992. Commercial companies started using Wi-Fi by about 1999. Systems continued to advance in parallel to these communications developments. Although these advancements were primarily in the commercial world, the technology also moved from the commercial to the residential markets. Major systems such as security, fire, video surveillance, access control, and automation controls, which includes HVAC, lighting, etc., were implemented. Evolution of residential networking continued. In order to meet the
So I've just paused the audio to show that if for some reason you need to stop or you don't want to listen to the audio and you rather read it, you can disable it by clicking the pause button here. You could also just turn your audio off if you didn't want to listen to it. So it is not a requirement. It is something you can stop and start at your leisure if you so choose. So that's one of the features we have to make the information more digestible. So now we're going to exit out of this and go back into the level 1 course we were looking at previously. We're going to do this so that we can take a look at some of the other features that we take advantage of. So many of our slides will be pretty standard, where you have like text and bullet points and some graphics that you can read and look at to understand the information. But occasionally we'll also use animations, as you see on this slide and the next slide. And then in some cases, when there's too much information to be easily put on a single frame, but it's all part of the same topic, we'll use these little buttons here. So these are actually clickable links that'll take you to additional information related to the topic that we're seeing on this particular slide. So by clicking on this link right here, it takes me to another page where I can see that information, and I can actually click on any of these as I need to get the information I want to see. And you see this next slide here, it does this as well, where it actually just displays it over here on the right. And again, it just makes it to where you can get a larger amount of information on the screen without it feeling too overwhelming. In addition, you'll occasionally have external sources where stuff is available. So we may have a standard or code or state site that has additional information we recommend you review. And in these cases, you'll have a hyperlink that you can click on. When you click on this, it'll just take you to your web browser and take you to that particular website. And the last type of thing we'll see is these notes buttons. You'll occasionally see these on slides where maybe there's an additional information or some interesting fact. By clicking on the little notes button, it'll actually pull that information up. So it's just supplemental information to kind of give you an idea or give you some interesting information to supplement what you're seeing on the screen. So we also do use videos in some of our materials. So To look at that, we're actually going to look at one of our exercises that has videos in it, but we do use videos throughout our courses in different places where something like either animated or more visual is required to translate that info. But again, to kind of show you that, we're actually going to take a look at an exercise, which is another resource we use to deliver information. And as a part of that, I'll show you a video that we use. So we're going to go to this basic circuit exercise here. And this is a simple exercise we do to kind of give people a real-world practical experience with electrical and circuitry requirements to actually build real simple LED circuits that are in a series or a parallel circuit. To do that, we actually use a virtual breadboard application so they can actually build and test these circuits on their own. And to do that, we have a download link they can go to download that application. So we're not going to go through this entire section. A lot of it is just instructions on how to use a tool and how it works. And since this isn't specifically a video designed to go over that tool, we're not going to go over it now, but be aware that we do provide all the instructions on how to utilize that tool and how to complete the exercise. But what we want to do is kind of look at how these exercises are structured. So you can see here that we have a series exercise where they're going to build a simple series LED circuit. We give them some parameters and some details to go off of, and then we have them go and build it. So we're not going to do the whole exercise, but we will show you kind of that tool that we have. So this is our breadboard simulation tool, and we're going to build a real simple circuit just to kind of give you an example of how this resource works. So I'm going to put a resistor on here, and then we'll put a green LED, and then I'm going to complete the circuit. So now whenever I apply power to this, it should just turn on this light here, so you can see it's dark green. And when I click this run button, sure enough, it turns on and it's bright green. Turn it on and back off and back and forth. So again, I'm not going to go into how this tool works specifically, but this kind of shows that we have some resources and tools available to make the information more tangible, more practical, and give them some hands-on experience in this particular instance. To help facilitate the fact that they're not actually in front of an instructor, we also provide resources to help make sure that they can complete the exercise successfully. The first way we do that is by having a solution built in. So if they're just really racking their brains and have no idea where to start, we give them an example of a breadboard, and we use more visual, more familiar components than what that tool might provide to kind of better visualize what the solution would look like. And then if they're still struggling to complete it, we also provide a video that'll show them how to complete the circuit within the tool itself. So if I click play here, you'll actually see on screen a mouse cursor move along, and they can full screen this however they need, and it's actually going through and completing the exercise step by step so that they can follow along and do it themselves. And again, these videos are not strictly limited to exercises. We do use videos wherever we feel that information will be best presented in a video format, and we also use animations in the same way. So that's a little bit about our exercises and some of the different ways we deliver information. Thank you for watching this NTS training video. Hopefully you learned a bit about the educational features of NTS's online training. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us.